What's going on, guys? It's your boy CMB. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel, smash that like button, and let's get into this one really quickly. Now, guys, we're talking about Canelo Alvarez, the 168-pound super middleweight undisputed champion, and Jermall Charlo, the 160-pound WBC champion. Now, you guys know recently Canelo Alvarez signed a very lucrative deal with the PBC, $100 million plus deal, a 3-fight deal, and people have been speculating on who he's going to fight next. Now, the word is that Jermall Charlo will be the first in the 3 that he's set to face. The fight will be taking place in September, and they've already started their training camps for this fight. Now, Golden Boy, matchmaker Robert Diaz says that Jermall Charlo is going to be the toughest fight of the 3-fight deal. And I want to read what he had to say about it and give you guys my opinion on, what he is saying, how I actually feel about what he's saying about this. So he says here, former Golden Boy Promotions matchmaker Robert Diaz says Jermall Charlo will be the toughest fight of the 3 for Canelo in his recently announced 3-fight contract with PBC. Robert feels that Jermall, who hasn't fought since July 2021, is a tougher fight for Canelo than David Benitez or Demetrius Andre, 2 guys that he thinks could wind up facing the Mexican star in his 3-fight deal with Premier Boxing Champions. Somebody did mention that in the comment section of one of my videos that about Demetrius Andre. I totally forgot about Demetrius Andre, but yeah, he possibly could be one of those fights, even though Canelo said that he fight nobody. He said he's a terrible fighter. You guys remember that? We've been talking a lot about Errol Spence Jr. being a possible opponent in the 3-fight deal, but I guess we're just going to have to wait and see and let all this stuff play out. But my opinion on what Robert Diaz is saying, Jermall Charlo being the toughest of the 3-fight deal. Now, let's just assume that, Demetrius Andre and David Benitez is part of this package. I would say out of those 3, I would think the toughest fight for Canelo Alvarez would be Demetrius Andre, to be honest, guys. I think David Benitez, his style is tailor-made for Canelo Alvarez, and I think that, the person that wins that fight is the one that's going to have the most dog in him, who's going to be able to take whose punches. I think it's that type of fight. You guys know styles make fights, and I think that's the perfect style matchup for Canelo Alvarez out of these 3. Demetrius Andre being I think he's a southpaw, very skilled. I think that would be a really tough fight for Canelo Alvarez. Even though, he came up from 160. He hasn't really been at 168 very long. But I do think his skill set would actually give Canelo Alvarez more problems than David Benitez. Now, as far as Jermall Charlo goes, I know this is a fight that a lot of people wanted to see some years ago. I think back then it would have been a tougher fight for Canelo Alvarez than it might be now, due to the fact that Jermall's been sitting on the shelf for 2 years. Jermall's been going through issues at home and domestic issues with his wife. He didn't look so great against Juan Montiel. And then he's coming up to 168 to fight Canelo Alvarez, where he's never fought in that weight class. I think he has a lot of things playing against him. But, this is a fight that he's been chasing for years, and now he's finally getting his opportunity. So I'm sure he's going to make the best of it, try to come in at 100%. I just think that, Canelo Alvarez has been too active. Canelo Alvarez has fought at 175. Canelo Alvarez has fought at 168. I don't know if, Jermall could take the punching power of Canelo Alvarez at this point. He's not the bigger of the 2, but he's fought, in higher weight classes. And like I said, Jermall's been sitting on the shelf. So I kind of disagree with Robert Diaz. I don't think this will be his toughest fight. If it's out of those 3, I think Demetrius Andre will probably be the toughest fight. But like I said, with David Benavidez, tailor-made fight for Canelo. Whoever has the most dogs going to win that fight. You know, the fists are going to be flying in that fight. You know, there's not going to be any fancy footwork. There's going to be a lot of shots thrown. Coming from David Benavidez, I would say that David Benavidez does throw a lot of punches. Canelo Alvarez, he kind of loads up on one shot and try to get you out of there. But I think he would have to change a few things, you know, throw more combinations. But David Benavidez is probably going to stand right there in front of him. But anyway, guys, you guys tell me what you think. Is Jermall Charlo the toughest fight for Canelo Alvarez in this 3-fight deal if it's these 3 guys? Honestly, I really don't think so. Maybe Jermall Charlo will surprise us. I'm just glad we get in the fight. It's a fight, like I said, people wanted to see for a long time. I think Jermall Charlo's at a disadvantage because of the layoff. But we'll see what he brings to the table come fight time. You guys let me know how you feel about it in the comments section. It's the CMB. I'll talk to you guys in the next one. And I'm out. Peace.